All right, you guys, my next guest has been one of the most important people in my life for decades. Back in the 90s, Eric Stretch was one of the stars of the charting boy band No Authority, the group signed to Michael Jackson's MJJ music label that toured with major acts like Britney Spears, Destiny's Child, 98 Degrees, and Pink. Since then, he has built an incredibly successful, I can't talk, perimenopause, sorry, career as a choreographer
I
and
think you said
dancer with
successful.
credits spanning Broadway, television, film, and live productions. But long before all of that, to me, he was my boyfriend. And as he
Ooh.
likes to remind me, and I like to remind him, I was his last girlfriend. Somehow, all these years later, we've remained the closest of friends, and I'm so grateful we've reached a place in our lives and in the world where we can have the honest conversations we really couldn't have back then. So please welcome one of the most special people in my life, my dear friend, Eric Stretch.
You guys, hello and thank you. That's, that's like the best entrance ever.
Oh my God! And I can't believe,
I'm like like my heart is like going fast. I'm like
I know
either
I'm a
so
little nervous
grateful.
now too.
I feel like so grateful or a little nervous. And also like my heart flutters still every time I see you.
Really? That's like the
Always.
highest compliment from a gay man.
Uh,
Look, Eric and I still flirt with each other a little bit. Don't tell our prospective others.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Um,
How are you?
I'm I'm so grateful to tell you that I'm doing really great.
I'm so happy
I'm
to
so
hear.
grateful to be able to say,
I'm I'm so happy
yeah.
to hear that.
How are you?
I am hanging in there. I'm sorry I'm looking down. Devin, will you sorry, we're gonna pause real quick. Devin, can you cut this? Push the buttons hard, please. Period. Please leave package outside. Apartment A.
Why did you cut that?
Not that hard
That
to
was
do.
hilarious.
Maybe we won't. We'll see. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take us back because, I mean,
Okay,
listen, I got to give the people a little bit of what they want. And they want a
of
little bit of
course.
the no authority. Okay. They want a little bit of
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
can
Bring
I
it
get
on.
your number, baby? Dum, 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 dum.
It follows me
Can you give them
everywhere.
the next line?
Oh, hit. Well, only if I can hit you with the seven digits.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know about you, but I've been east and I've been west and I've been all around the world,
All
but
around the
I've
world.
never all around the world, but never seen a girl like you.
I've
Beautiful.
seen
Like
some, what?
blonde,
Some blondes.
blonde, and brunette now, and some really hot redheads. That
Okay,
was
you
all.
guys, I'm literally telling you, I told everybody that would listen to me in the 90s beyond and still to this day that that line was written about me.
It was
Okay, great.
absolutely.
Okay, great.
Of course.
Because we were together at that time when that song was, so of course I was like, oh, he wrote a song about me. Meanwhile, you had like nothing to do, probably. Well, maybe you did. I don't know. Did you write any of those songs?
No, I did not. But Tommy, sorry. So there was me, Tommy, Ricky, and
Mm-hmm.
Danny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but before that, there was Josh,
That's
and then
right.
Josh left the group after the first album, and then Tommy joined us, and that's when we had our biggest hit, "Can I Get Your Number?"
Which is
Um,
crazy. And just real quick, just to back up really, really quick, Josh, so the first, who he was just talking about was actually one of my closest friends growing up, and that's how I met Ricky, which was long before you, before I met you, but I must have met you through Ricky.
well, that just goes to show how teeny tiny the entire industry was, especially at that age and at that time.
Yes, yes.
Um, But going back to, did I have any creative control? Well, no, the answer is no. But so our first album was Rodney Jerkins produced our entire first album. And the one thing that I was so grateful about what our band did is we found pretty awesome talent that were just starting their careers.
Yeah.
And because they were so talented that their careers took off so much and so high that by the time it was time to do our second album, we couldn't afford them.
Oh my God.
So so when and then our first album came out before all
Right.
the the craze and everything. It came out around 96,
What was
97.
that one called? I can vividly remember the album cover. I just can't remember the name. Was it just No
It was
Authority?
it was called Keep On.
Oh,
No
Keep On.
Authority.
Okay.
And now I'm like, that's weird. But like
The
so we were like
INA.
we were more R&B. I was 16 when we first started recording this album. And then it released when I was 17, and then we were pretty much touring all through my junior high, high school. Sorry, yeah, no, not junior high, junior year, senior year of high school. So we had to finish everything on the road. But anyways, so they saw that like that boy bands were doing really really well overseas, so we were doing well in the States. We were actually doing pretty well, but then they're like, oh, let's ship these people all the way over to Europe. And then they didn't know how to treat a boy band, so they treat us like rock bands. We were like performing in bars. We're all under
Right.
18 performing in bars.
It's insane.
We had like this tiny little camper van that we traveled everywhere and having a freaking blast in Europe.
That's
So,
amazing.
did we have chaperones?
I
Were my
mean,
parents there?
yeah, all of our parents were there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so when we went to Europe, that's when NSYNC and Backstreet came to the States, and then they blew up. But we had some success. We did really really well, and
So
we
you guys were out before them.
yeah,
Ish.
this album came out before.
Interesting.
We were compared to Hanson before we were compared to anybody else.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and
No.
then in Europe, people they did not think that the song and the album before they saw pictures of us, they did not think that we were four white boys. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so take that or
Yeah.
leave it. And
Yeah.
then so then when we came back to the States, NSYNC and Backstreet were huge, and we got signed to Madonna's record label,
I remember
Maverick.
that. Yeah.
And so they wanted to change our sound that was more radio friendly at the time,
Yeah.
and it was very, very, very poppy. And I was like, oh, I feel like the pop thing is changing. I mean, I did actually have like some sort of insight behind it. And then when I got the demo of Can I Get Your Number,
Can I
Baby?
get your number,
Dun dun dun
baby?
dun dun. Hit me with the 7 digits.
Yeah.
That's the times we're in. I was like, I hated it. I
Really?
think I think I threw it out of my
No way.
I didn't like the song. And I
Wow.
don't think any of us were like, it's kind of cheesy. I don't get it. And this was the demo. So it was like stripped down. And so we went in, re-recorded it, and then they mastered it, and then they mixed it and came back, and we listened to it in the studio, and we're like, uh-oh. It's an earworm. You're never gonna forget it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
We're
our
talking
first,
about it 30 years later.
and we're talking about it 30 years
And
later.
we're talking, yeah.
So yeah, but then once we started recording our second album, understanding what was going on, I never really thought I was a very good writer. And so I never wanted to create the world, but Tommy and Ricky really did, and they did actually write a song together on the album called Thinkin'.
So that's
And
the third album.
no, second album.
Second
Album.
album.
So yeah,
Oh,
same.
okay.
We only did 2 albums. We only did 2 albums.
But
Yeah, so
Can I
they,
Get Your Number is on the second album.
that's correct.
Yes. That's the one with the 4 pictures of you guys on the front. Yes.
Like
Yes.
this.
Yes. I know. I had it like cut out only yours threw the
It's
rest
so
away, framed it.
uh,
I
before you could
probably
do
did,
this,
honestly.
or you could do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, but that but the band, the song did really well, and going back to what I was saying,
Yeah.
we picked out really amazing talent, that were young talent, and that was kind of our joke. Our joke was like, all right, if you work with No Authority, whether that's working with us creatively or doing shows with us, your career will boost to stardom. And this
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
My party trick, if you will, is that Beyonce opened up for us twice.
I do remember that. I remember
Sometimes I
that.
say Beyonce opened up for me, but I should
Well,
probably
same. I mean,
Beyonce opened up for us twice.
So when did you guys know that it was like, once second album came around and you guys had kind of reconfigured, I should say, the band and all of that, when did you guys know that this was big? Like, okay, now this is big. Because like when you and I were dating, you guys were opening up for Britney Spears and NSYNC, or I don't even know if you were opening up for them. I think you were just part of a whole
We were, yeah,
lineup, right?
we're doing like
What?
a bunch of radio tours and things. We
That's what
didn't
it was.
radio shows and everything. So you do all these radio shows, but to go back to your question, um, that's a really difficult. Actually, I don't think it's difficult at all. I think it's really important to talk about. So I went into this. I went into an audition for No Authority. I was 12 years old. And then there was callbacks, and so we were put together. But at the final callback, Ricky, Danny, and there's another couple guys that were in the group before. We all knew each other from the industry, so we already had a friendship. And so then the producers were like, "Well, that's the band, right?" So
Right.
yes, we were put together, but we had known each other before,
Right.
right?
And you
So
guys have been, yeah, you guys have been together from like the jump.
so 1992.
Yeah. I get it. I get
Me
it.
too. And so then, whenever since I was a preteen, I think that a lot of people can relate to this that relate to this podcast. I was told that I was going to be a megastar. I was told that we're going to do this album, and you're not going to be able to walk into a mall. You're not going to be able to do this. All of this, and so even my mom, who was clueless about anything, a Southern woman that was like thrown into this industry with this kid that's like, I want to dance and I want to entertain. We're like, we believed him,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, this is going to be what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and as like and then like 13 and 14, that's when we didn't rehearse all the time, we rehearsed like once a week, but that's when we really started working on our sound, doing demo tapes. And then so about 3 years we were doing that, being told all of these amazing things.
Wow.
So we finally got signed at the and like so we were working on our sound, and we got signed one place and that didn't happen. So when we finally got signed to Michael Jackson, when Michael Jackson, our album fell into his lap, or our demo fell into his lap, and he signed us, we were kind of like, well, it's about time.
Right. Yeah.
Like the ego, what, like just like
Right. Yeah.
the information that these adults are giving these young
It's
kids,
just dangerous. It's
dangerous.
dangerous. It's
It was just
dangerous.
dangerous. And
Yeah.
so we did our first album, and that was really, I loved being in the recording studio. I thought that was super fun.
I
And
used
then
to come I was there for a lot of that album of that recording studio.
yeah, that was the second album.
Yeah, the second album. What studio, where was that? That was in the valley somewhere, right?
Yeah, it was. I
Or
want to
was
call it,
it Sunset Sound?
no, it was like called Streamworks or something.
Yes, and it was like in Burbank or North Hollywood or something like
Not
that. There was a
Hollywood. Yeah.
basketball court out back.
Yeah, not to be
Yeah.
confused. Not to be confused. Never mind, I can't say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You actually can say whatever the fuck you want on this show, but do
There's an
you?
adult's house that catered
Oh,
to men called something very similar to that.
okay. Not that one. That would have been fun
Not
too,
that
but
one.
not that
No,
one.
that one's in Chicago, and if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But this was a recording studio, and yes, I
It's a
actually
recording studio.
had the honor of being there to watch them record
Yeah.
this brilliant album. But yes,
But I
so
think I think it's Taylor's all his time. We were releasing the record. We were going all over the country to promote the record, and because we all shared a room together, right?
mm,
So and Ricky and I were sharing a room. We'd all like rotate, but Ricky and I were sharing a room this time, and we had the radio on, and our song came on, and like
wow.
that was wild. And then we did a show, and I want to say we were in Virginia or close to DC. We were on the East Coast somewhere, and then we did a show that night, and people knew the words to our song, and it might have been like a smaller venue, but I was like, oh crap. And I told myself, this is not normal. Do not take this for granted.
Right.
So as much as I would complain about some things that were not fair, in this industry, especially in the 90s, especially with kids underage or kids like trying to have their own voice, I
Right.
always was like, do not take advantage of this, and
Yeah.
also take this all in. And of course, we started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we started
Yeah.
doing bigger shows and opening up for these artists and living this really creative lifestyle, amazing lifestyle, red carpets, the whole nine. And I just was like, this is, I don't know, I always just was like, just enjoy this while it lasts. Just remember this. Yeah, that always stuck with me. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why I thought that way. I don't know where my brain, clocked it. Because I've seen other
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
I've
Because
seen
I
others
thought it was never gonna end.
ever going to end. Well, I mean, I knew I was always going to be doing something in this field.
Sure.
But then, then when we got dropped, I was like, what the fuck? I was going to be this
Right.
gajillionaire. I still couldn't go to malls. No, they were right about that. I still couldn't walk into malls. And so, like, I don't know, I feel like that was a really long-winded way of answering your
No,
question.
I think that's exactly what everybody wanted to hear because the lore of the 90s boy band is so, I mean, it's I would rank it as fascinating as the lore of the junkie child star. You know, it's like the fascination with the phenomena of both is pretty wild, you know. So to have been in one of the in my opinion, more successful boy bands of the 90s, um, you know, that, and I mean, should we just get into it? Are we about to get into it?
It's good.
Let's do it. I mean, if any two people can do it, it's us.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, but let's do
That's
it.
what she said. You're like, not to you, I didn't, bitch. Woo! Okay. So it's whatever 1990, whatever like height of no authority is, right? I assume we're probably dating at that time ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know that you're gay at this time?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew I was gay.
I think I knew you were gay. No, I mean, I did everything I could to
I
like,
knew
yeah.
I knew there was something different about me at the age of 10.
Really? 10 years
10,
old.
10 years old, yeah.
Okay. And did you
Yeah.
just kept that in to yourself?
Yeah, I knew I
Wow.
had to. I was like, I have to keep this in to
Really?
myself. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I found a mechanism of dealing with it through being outrageous and hilarious and funny and crazy.
Right.
So, but no,
Right.
I knew when I was 10 years old. Yeah.
Right. And that's actually interesting thinking back on it now. Yeah, outrageous, hilarious, which could be like, no, he's not flamboyant. He's just like really funny. He's very, you know,
Yeah.
boisterous or and then back in the 90s, the big thing was like he's just a dancer. You know, that's because people had just were so ignorant and had no idea what to say. So
But yeah, it was
so
I feel
I
like
want to talk. Yeah, we'll say what. Go, please.
so when I was 10 years old and I felt like I had, it was more about like a love. I feel like, it was when you are when I'll speak for myself because everybody's journey is different, is like it was about falling in love with somebody of the same sex. That's what it really was. Like,
Mm,
I can love anybody, but like
yeah,
falling in love, that to me
right.
was like, and it was like this crazy different feeling that I
And you
had.
knew it at 10.
When it was, I always thought that like I just had like these people that I really wanted to spend time with because I thought they
Mhm.
were really good friends. But really, when I look back at it, I had
Yeah,
crushes on. I had crushes.
right. Right. Right.
But I was not ashamed of it when I was a kid. I was not ashamed. I thought it was cool. I
Right.
I thought it was a fun secret that I was gonna have to have, but I thought it was my secret and it was a fun secret.
Right.
So I kind of had this really different relationship with it. And then I found out how to manage it and deal with it. I was also in the arts, so
Right.
so I was surrounded, but that doesn't matter. People are like, oh, why can't this person just come out because they're surrounded by other gay people? But it's not like that.
It's not like
It
that. And that's the next thing I was gonna say is like in the 90s, in a huge boy band, you don't have the luxury of just being like, hi, I love who I want to love. Like, it's not like that. There's labels. There's like, what did they used to call them? The clauses, like you have to behave clause. I can't think of it'll come to me. Perimenopause. Ugh. Um,
Like almost like a don't ask, don't tell.
yeah, no, like for example, Nickelodeon, you had to sign contracts separate from your contracts that said you would behave in public and represent the company and the network,
Oh,
appropriately, so
I
to
have
speak.
so much to talk about that.
Right. So I'm wondering, I don't know, like, I don't even know what your guys' music industry is so different in so many ways, and it's very similar, but to the acting industry, I don't know if they tell you ahead of time, like, hey, this is what we would never want out there. This is what we do want out there. And then also, what was that like for you at a time when now you're like hanging on the poster of so many girls' walls? And I'm sure boys, but primarily girls. Like the 90s boy band phenomenon was primarily geared towards young girls.
1000%. And I don't think there was never a clause or there was never a contract that we had to sign that saying you can't do this, you can't do that. But again, once again, we were kids, we were
Yeah,
young. And so
yeah.
the way that they would manipulate what we were allowed to do and not to do, like, we could never remember like our manager, I don't even know if I want to say her name,
No,
was
don't.
like, but always like whenever you're around, they're like, you can't be around because we had to give off this persona that we were like
Right,
the good guys that, and they could potentially be our girlfriends.
right.
Really, so, and that was my job. So like I wanted to do my job and I wanted to do my job good and just about performing. Sorry, I want to do my job well, but just performing on stage and pelvic thrusting and hitting the IC in the bridge, that was only one part of the job.
Right.
The other part of the
Yeah.
job is this persona and is this like we did hours and hours and hours and hours of signings, before shows, after shows, just to get some fans to call in the radio station. So with that being said, when I was on tour, we were on tour with Nickelodeon, all that
Shout,
tour,
shout out.
and we
The
were
Nickelodeon, all that
all
tour.
that music humor festival, and it was
That's right.
like
That's the one I was able to go to because I was working and finally, because that one was in LA from what I remember. Yeah.
we did that for 2 years. There was two seasons of it, and it was during the summer, obviously.
Yeah, I
Um,
came to well I remember I came to I came to the first one, and then I remember Jenna and her friend got to go to the one in Virginia or something, and I
oh
was like
yeah,
so pissed because you and
I
I were
still talk
already.
to that girl too, by the way, via social media.
Well, we all, yes, of course. But I was so pissed. I'm like, we're broken up, and I still love him. I
Oh,
was
so
like, tell him I said hi.
we broke up. We were already broken up.
So we broke up.
I'm sorry about that.
It's, you had to do it. You had to do. We broke up. Okay, so I had broken up with Ben Gould, who was like my first boyfriend, my first love, all the things. And then there was like a 6 month separation period, and that's when I met you guys. And it was actually like ironically, Ricky started hitting me up, and I thought he was like hitting me up like romantically or something because he was like kind of moving like that, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I've known Ricky since I'm 11 years old at auditions and all the things, and he was like, yeah, come hang out with us. I was like, okay, sure. I was like, can I bring my friends? Can I bring something for safety? Like, am I
Right?
okay? So I like met up with you guys somewhere. I don't even know how it all happened.
It was.
Maybe Tommy.
I remember meeting you for the very first time. Is at Oakwood Apartments.
Well, yeah, okay, then there it is. It must have been at Oakwood.
Oakwood.
And then we took over I had already been taking over, but then you and I as a power couple took over Oakwood right after that. Yeah, that must have been at Oakwood. And then we dated for, yeah, so that was after Ben. So we dated for like a year almost.
Yeah, it did for.
And many of my friends during that year told me We love Eric. We're obsessed with Eric. Eric is gay, Natanya. And I
Yeet.
said, he is, no, he is not. And
Yeet.
even if he is, I do not care. Like, I just loved you so much. And I think obviously a piece of me knew that too. You know, no 17-year-old boy stops you every time you get to a certain point.
So there's
But listen,
Leave it on the mom. I have a curfew. Curfew, mom. Oh.
listen, anyone drunk can make out, right? Like that's just a thing that anyone can do that. But if you're not necessarily into women in that way, it's going to be a little harder to go further. And it's at 17, all I was used to was men falling on, wanting
Yeah.
to have sleep with me or whatever. So with you and I, but we had so much fun. Like
So
we were best friends. We
we were
spoke a secret language so much so, and we still can.
we still
So we still can. So what was that like for you at that time? You're a huge boy band star.
yeah.
You have millions of girls around the world screaming for you and writing the fan mail with the posters and the God, and the Teen Beat shit bop magazine they used to make us do back then. It was like incessant. And for the women, it wasn't even like super bad. It was like nonstop for the men. I mean, we're sitting on like 300 Teen Beat magazines that Nate's on the cover of. You know what I mean? Like we're just like, what the fuck do we do with these things?
Oh,
And
my mom kept all those. That's why I have a whole bunch of.
oh, I love that actually.
But
And
yeah,
so then, and you're dating a girl who's, I mean, I was pretty popular, I would say. So, like, I guess, like breaking up with Natanya at that time might have been, I don't know, and I'm also a public figure. And we went on a couple red carpets together. I don't think our relationship was this big, like, publicized thing, but I think, if you were in the 90s and you were catching up with like what was going on, I'm sure a couple people knew about us. What I love is I think people found out later in our adult life,
yeah.
which is so special. But what was that like? All while knowing you probably had to break up with me any second.
I think you're talking about me actually coming out. And
Oh,
so,
yes. Did I
10
skip like super ahead?
well, you have a lot to do with that. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
I had an agreement with myself of how to handle it on my own and keep it a secret. And then I created these situations with these people, especially with you, let's say that I love so much.
You're gonna destroy me right now, aren't you?
No, but like,
Why did I wear mascara? I'm a dumbass. Okay, go on.
ding ding ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, sorry guys. We had to have a little editing thing there and take a,
Sorry,
a room
I just
change.
had to move rooms. Whoops.
That's okay. Okay, so what we were saying was, you were saying, and I said, you're about to make me cry.
Okay, so basically, coming to terms with actually coming out. So when I was 10, knew I was gay, but I found I could keep it a secret, and then I couldn't keep it a secret any longer. And the hardest thing for me was not the career. It was not the band. It wasn't these things. It was what I felt like I had done and what I had lied to you and to other people that I held so near and dear to my heart. I didn't want to break their hearts. I felt like it was better for me to suffer and to be unhappy than
Oh,
to break somebody else's heart.
yeah.
And you're the top of that list. So because I loved you so much and I still love you so much,
I
but I
know,
wasn't in
still.
love with you. I couldn't have a romantic relationship with you.
I know.
So I feel like, and this is where I should apologize, and a lot of gay men should apologize to some what they've done to their last girlfriends, is because we thought maybe we can figure it out. We thought maybe we can manipulate like the people that because they're the reason why we love each other so much is because of our souls and our spirits and like
Yeah.
personalities and how we are together as friends, we still annoy the people around us. So
Still. And honestly, if you had said to me then, like, do you want to maybe do a lavender? We'd be married by now. And like, poor Rob and Nate, you know, but like, they wouldn't know us because I would have been like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And you just do whatever you want. I don't care. You
right,
know, that's how
like I
tight
used you.
we get.
I used you to see if
No.
I can't make this life work with this person who with you who is like the most fun life you can ever possibly imagine to want with a partner, basically best friends, then like I can't. And then that was like, and then I was dealing with that. And I do think I broke up with you because of that deep down inside, but it was
Right. But it was a different reason.
different
Do you
reason.
remember the reason?
No.
I do. Am I okay? Am I not over this? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But sidebar, there's an account on TikTok, and the way they start their thing, everything is like, I'm Samantha, and I married a gay man, and we had a child. And I'm like, you bitch, how did you pull that off? And they had a
Yeah.
child the natural way. And I was like, oh, you lucky son.
Yeah. Yeah, you dick. How did you do that?
I don't know. It's just, and he's not, and he identifies as a gay man. So, he literally, as we're talking about, he just married, he said, that was my best friend. It was my best fucking friend. And that, to me, I guess was more worth it than, but that's not what I would have wanted for you. I want you to be happy and be you and be with the person that you're meant to be with, which wasn't me. And I hate that you say you feel like you used me. I mean, in so many ways, I take it as a huge compliment, like biggest, like one of the biggest boy band stars in the world. Like I'm his beard. Hello.
Yeah.
Been trying to tell you guys Queen of the Gay since the 90s. I mean, I was not lying.
You're not.
But I
But so
thank you for saying that though, because yes,
I'm
I
gonna go
was
back.
very in love with you.
Go back to me being 10 years old. It wasn't a sexual thing. It
Right.
was I wanted to like it was falling in love. Like it wasn't just so
Yeah.
I can understand how someone can get aroused and create a child without the
Right.
emotional connection. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the
The
love.
love.
And I think once I found out that like, oh, I'm searching for this love, and then we broke up, and I don't remember how. And then
I'll tell you when you're done.
and then we went back on tour
Uh-huh.
with another closeted guy in a band that was on tour
Correct.
with,
Yes.
and kissed me. And I was like, that to me, kissing is way more intimate than having sex.
Always. Yes.
You know,
Always. Yeah.
kissed me.
I
And
could actually forgive sex and cheating probably more than kissing, to be
kissing
honest.
is intimate.
Yeah.
So when I was like, I can't do this, nobody knows.
Mhm.
Uh, that's when I was like, I can't do this anymore. So dealing with, you know, that, and also another huge reason that was really difficult for me to come out so late when everybody knew, and then, of course, but I didn't want to change the dynamic of my boy band either. Like when you're in a boy band, or any band, if you're in a music group, you share bathrooms, you share beds, you share everything together, right? And so I was so scared that because we were so close and we had our own sort of like male masculine, not masculine, um
Like brother, you had a
we
brotherhood.
brothers, we were
Yeah, and in the 90s, if you say you're gay, your dumbass friends are like, "Are you gonna try and fuck me?" And you're like,
yeah, I didn't want
"What?"
that to change. I didn't want any
Yeah,
of
you're
that
like, "You're not cute enough." And I know, I'm
because
kidding. They're all
not
gorgeous, but
my
people were
type.
so stupid. Yeah.
So I didn't want to change that dynamic. I didn't care about the record label. I didn't care about what the fans think. I didn't care about those kind of things. I cared about breaking people's hearts because I was going through something that I was going through, and also changing the dynamic of my group, because the group meant so much to me. Because at that point, we were together for 9 years.
Right.
Because we went on for another year and a half after that. We were in the band together for 10 years, from the ages of 12 to 22. Like those years, those informative years are crazy. Now we weren't
Yeah.
together. Once our album hit, I saw them more than I saw myself in the mirror. you know? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and and then of course when I did come out, everyone was like, yeah, duh, you
Yeah.
know, like of course we're just waiting for you. And I thought that was so that there's a quote that I don't remember where I heard it from, but sometimes the hardest thing you could possibly do ends up being the best thing for you.
Always. Yeah. It
You know,
really,
so I had
God, it's so true. I remember you called me
now,
from the
yeah,
road to tell me. Do you
yeah,
remember that?
yeah.
Yeah, you called me from the road. It was probably about 6 months after we had broken up. And I don't remember if we had talked a little bit like here and there. Obviously, I needed a couple months for the dust to settle. I told you
And
the other day, I was
clearly,
driving on like the 405 screaming, "Do you believe in love after love after love after
the
love?"
the fact that you were trying to get over me with the Cher song, come
I
on.
mean,
And
I know. I should have known. I should have known. What was I gonna put on? Our TLC No Scrubs? Like, come
by the
on.
way, came on my playlist today at the gym.
Of course it did. Yeah. Oh, of course,
Of course.
because the
That,
gym
that was our
knew.
song. That was our
That
song.
was for the audience listening. Sorry, yes, we should explain a couple things. We have a few inside jokes you'll hear, I'm sure, along the way. And one of our songs was the Joan Baez, "If God Was One of Us," and
And
booty
booty slap
slap,
and booty
booty
slap, booty
slap.
slap,
Okay,
booty
now
slap, and
granted,
booty slap.
Eric came up with that while we were dating. How?
What if God was one of us and
And
booty
booty
slap and
slap and booty slap. Like how I didn't know. I mean, I did. It's okay. I loved him so much. And then our other song was TLC No Scrubs. So
okay, on the passenger side.
of my best friend's ride, and Eric would like roll through Oakwood with like whatever cool car, the truck
I
to
had
like
a
pick
truck.
me up.
I had a
He
pickup
had a
truck.
pickup truck,
I
you
had a
guys.
fucking pickup truck. What was I thinking, you guys?
He had a pickup truck, and Natanya Ross is his girlfriend. Like he was trying. He was
I
trying at
tried
least.
so I did everything. I tried.
So listen, okay, so we break up, whatever, listen, a 17, 18-year-old girl's heart breaks in a million pieces, but you recover faster at that age, I suppose. And then unfortunately, I met somebody who, um, led me down a path where your life, even after No Authority, was about to become very, very different than what my life was going to look like for the next however long, and it's been such an interesting thing, like talking to a couple of my, like people that are still my best friends from that age, like 15, 16, like you said, formidable age to now. Oh my God. And, so we'll get there in a second, but so I want to hear, so after, how does No Authority just like disband? Is that how you say it?
Sure.
Whatever.
We basically
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please go back. So when you were on tour and you were like, I need to come out, but you didn't want to, we've skipped over that whole thing. I'm an idiot. And you didn't want to break the hearts of the people that you loved and that loved you and all of the things. I think I know the story, but to, you came out to somebody that was like outside your friends and family first. Am I right? Or
no,
no?
not really. I yeah, the first
Or
time
was it your best friend
yeah, it was one of my best friends, my friend that I grew up with.
who I know?
Her name's Micah.
Oh, I do not know her.
Yeah,
Do I?
yeah, because you guys have met before. You guys were both in auditions together when you guys were 10 years old.
I'm like a
Which
perimenopause.
who I was with yesterday, actually.
Oh my
So
God. It's
nice.
just all the small world is ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
I knew I
insane.
was gonna do it. I just
Wait a
didn't.
second, I did meet her at the California Dreams reunion at Hotel Ziggy. She was there to see
Yeah,
Jenny Kwan, correct? That's her. And
yes,
she came
that's how.
running up to me. She said, "Are you Natanya? Are you Natanya?" And I was like, and I thought it was a fan. I'm
Yeah,
such a
nope.
dick.
That
I
was
was
one of my
like,
best. And
I was
you guys
like,
are.
let me get my mirror out. I know you want to take a picture. She's like, oh, no, no. She's like, I'm. It was not that dramatic, but she was like, I'm friends with Eric Stretch. I was like, shut up. So, and then we took a
Oh,
picture and sent it to you.
oh,
Yeah.
Micah was at all those parties. All
She
those
what?
parties.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't
I
remember.
I did. I kind of felt like, yeah, so no, I because did a bunch of sake bombs at Tokyo Delves, as you do. Shout out to Tokyo Delves, who probably got closed because they
They're
didn't check
gone.
people's
They're gone.
IDs,
Right,
probably.
right.
And it was sort of like a drunken thing that just sort of came out. And then
Oh,
and
wow.
even
With
that,
Micah?
yeah, and
Wow.
felt like that was wow, so freeing. And then and of course you know my family and you know my sisters. Um I don't remember the order. I just remember she was the first on this that I actually said the words to. And then it starts then it like the more and more people that I didn't tell was because I knew that they were going to be fine. It was the people that I
Hmm.
was scared to tell that I had to
Interesting.
tell right away, right? So like my best friend Amber, who you still know Amber. Amber is still
Yeah.
in my life. We still talk almost every other day.
Amazing.
I She was one of the last ones to know. She was pissed. She was one of the last ones to know because I was like, I wasn't worried about you.
Right.
I was worried about
Right.
I was worried about my parents and my brother who feels like
Right.
he raised me and showed me how to throw a football, which I still can't, but I
Right.
don't want.
Right. And also, Amber, I have a girlfriend. She might want to, she needs to know. She's got to move
So,
on.
but oh my God, my sisters still and my mom,
Oh.
it was so dramatic, but of
Oh
course it.
my gosh. I will
Um,
say this, your sister, both your sisters, your maybe even your mom, I can't remember, but definitely both your sisters called me like every day after we broke up for months and months, and then also called me after you had, come out just to check on me, and I was like, I knew. I really did know. And it's okay. I'm just so happy for him. So, you and I have such a success story. We interviewed Danielle Fishel 2 weeks ago. I can't remember now. And, she told us a little bit of her story with Lance. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I can relate. I had a similar experience. I mean, maybe not on the same scale, but I dated, a boy in a boy band named No Authority. And she was like, what's his name? I said, Eric Stretch? She said, oh my God. No. She said, yeah, I knew him when we were like babies and I was in love with him. I had the biggest crush on him. And I didn't, I don't, maybe she doesn't remember. I don't know. Danielle, you're going to have to text me and tell me. But I guess
I
Eric
remember now.
remembers that you guys dated. Danielle,
Yeah, because Danielle would come over. Her mom would bring my mom. Oh, sorry, yeah, her mom would bring her over to my house
okay, don't
because
get it twisted. They were like 3, 4 years old
oh,
people.
no, no,
Okay.
guys, we're in third grade. So what?
Yeah.
10?
Oh, great. Whatever.
Oh,
That's a little harder to swallow, but
but
whatever.
so I think
Kidding.
my mom was so interested to talk to her mom because we both had agents and we were both auditioning
Right.
stuff, and we're in like the middle of nowhere in Orange County, right?
Yeah.
No people I'm from. And yeah,
Yeah. Oh.
but we were at the same elementary school together and we both had crushes on each other and we would go swimming and we'd go underwater and like
Oh my God. That's tea. That's tea.
so tea. I
That's so
remember
tea.
Danielle. You can deny all you want. I remember.
So you're
And then I broke up
two.
with her. And then I broke up with her on a note in school.
Now that's what I heard about was she remembers it more. We maybe just gave her some PTSD. I'm so sorry, babe. She remembers it more as a note of like, do you like me or not? Check yes, check no, I think is what she told us. But regardless, I don't remember. She,
Probably.
she
She
did
probably said
fine. She went on to do fine. She
she's
was
doing
okay.
well. And I'm
She's
so
fine.
proud of her. I'm so
Yes.
proud of her. And I'm so proud of what she did with Dancing with the Stars, what she's doing on Idol, and
All of
her
it.
her Instagram
And
success.
I'm really proud of what her and Lance did too,
Yeah.
because, they made it very important to tell their story very early on, when they could have waited till things were bigger or what have you. And I took notice of that right away. And obviously that means a lot to me because of our story and everything. And the shock I felt when Danielle also said she had a entanglement with you, I was like, oh, wow,
Yes.
okay. I'm like
What are you
1-800. Hi, Lance. Hi. How are
gonna
you? No, I'm just kidding. You sure? I'm just kidding. No, but I also have now dubbed Eric and I the Timu version of Danielle Fishel and Lance Bass, and we'll take it. We love it.
What an
Hi.
honor.
With
What an honor.
honor. We
What
are
an honor.
that. We are
Yeah.
that.
I
Okay.
have, I see Lance all the time and he's lovely and we
Well,
have
can you let him know the new joke then, please? That would
I
be
will.
great. And I'll let Danielle know. 'Cause I'm actually seeing her tonight. That's so funny. Yeah, we're going to the Chloe night. We're going to the Boy Meets World live finale, season finale
Oh
ending
fun.
for the podcast. Yeah, so that'll be good. Okay, walk us through. So now you've told your people, and now you're free. You can be free. You're not. Are you still in No Authority at this time?
Yeah, the band was like, all right, moving on. Next.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So how much? So this went on. You went on a year and a half longer.
About that, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Did you come out publicly? I don't that I don't remember. No.
No, I never did.
Yeah,
I probably I don't know. It was still the 90s. It was still pretty taboo.
it
Again,
really was.
like
Yeah.
I just thought that theaters were going to be these secrets. So I was now that everybody knows my secret, and not the world has to know my secret.
Right.
But these people, I wanted to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So how did the band end? I think what happened is that like our record label dropped us.
Okay.
Mavic dropped us. They spent a lot of money on us. We did not recoup it.
Okay.
So business. It's called show business. And
Business, baby.
they dropped us, but there are other record labels that were interested in signing us back. And I think Ricky wanted to go on his own, and
Mm,
Danny was
right.
done with the
Right.
industry. He was like he wanted to go into something else, and he was just done. And it was Tommy and I was like, I just don't see this happening between just the two of us. I feel like if we're not in this as a group, then I
Yeah.
don't think I could be in it. Like
Right.
we did do a couple of performances without Danny because he quit before everybody else.
Okay.
Um,
I
and so
do remember
I think
that actually. Yeah.
but like it was bummed because Danny was probably one of the most popular because he was so good looking. But Danny
Right.
didn't sing a lot on the album, so we could take over without Danny being
Sure.
there. The fans were furious, but vocally we
Yeah.
could do it.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, Ricky wanted to go on his own, and so I was like, I'm out, and I was like, I guess this is over. And I
Mm.
remember leaving this. We did a show with Aaron Carter, and
Oh
it was
wow.
like this really. I know, well, don't get me started on that whole thing. We've known
Yeah.
him since he was 10 years old. It's
Oh
tragic.
fuck. Yeah.
Um, so we Yeah, I remember that we got on our tour bus and we were in like Santa Barbara or something. We weren't far from home, and we're like, I think that was our last show together. And I don't even think we took the bus home. I think we all got into like our friends' cars or something, and I remember just
Crazy.
driving away. It was just like really bizarre, and I remember being a lot of dust because it was like a fair or something.
Right. Right.
Very dramatic.
Very
Actually, it wasn't
dramatic.
dramatic. It was just kind of like, I guess this is it. And then
Wow.
I was like, going back to what I was saying, I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? I
Yeah.
was told my entire year, this ended at 22. All my friends that were not in the industry were just graduated college.
Right.
I barely finished high school. Was I gonna go
Yeah.
back to school? I was a terrible student. Um, and I was just like, what? I was told this was gonna happen. and then like I didn't go through a depression. I'm not a person that gets depressed or anything like that, but I just went to be like,
Right.
who's gonna tell me what to do? I was told what to do my entire life. Like, wake up at this time, go into hair and makeup, you're doing this interview, and then the only thing that we really had control over ourselves was our performances on the stage. That's where we can really be our. So I
Right.
was told what to do my entire life. Um, and so now I'm like, well, they're like, what do you want? And I was like, I I don't want to do an album. That was not something I
That wasn't your thing.
would
No.
know. I would know, but I wouldn't have the confidence. I didn't have the confidence to do it on my own. I actually got offers from certain record labels, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like I'd be a fraud. I was love I even to this day I still love being a part of an ensemble.
Right.
So,
Right.
And then like a couple months went by, and an agent of mine that I had when I was 12 years old, I was like, what do I do? And she's like, well, you're a great singer, you're a great dancer. You should go in for this show on Broadway. She's like, it's called Aida. It's Elton John and Tim Rice. And I was like, Avita? I didn't know. I no idea. I love theater, but I didn't know anything about it.
Oh my
And
God.
I went into my his name is Eric Vitro. Shout out to Eric Vitro. He
Shout
now
out.
because he going back, we could afford him when he was just really he was already pretty established by the time we started working with him. But now he is literally the voice teacher to the stars. He's like
Is he really?
did all the Wicked girls, and he did
Okay, okay.
everything.
Don't forget to talk about that, please.
And and so I called him and I was like, hey, I got a call because I know that he worked with a lot of theater people. And he's like, you can't afford me.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, I was like, Eric, I don't know what to do. Please help me. And he was like, I got you. He also knew I was a little queer kid. I could tell.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I think that he like had a special place in his heart for me. So he came in. I think he charged me like $100 when he was normally like 1,000. That was back then, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy now. It's
Um, but worth it. He showed me what to do in an audition room, like give me a crash course. He showed me what song to sing, and so I went in and I danced first, and I knew I could dance for all these people.
yeah,
Uh,
that we know.
and then in LA, there's dancers can't sing for the most part. It's
Mhm.
very segregated, which I would love to get into that too, because that's kind of my mission statement now. As
Yes, absolutely.
they're 40s, and so I went and I booked it. I booked it, and so then I was like, I guess Broadway is my journey. And so I knew nothing. I walked into the first rehearsal and everyone was like this. Who this douchebag? Because I
Oh
was
my,
wearing a hat all like sideways, and I was like still boy band training. That's all I
oh
knew.
my God. Was
Uh,
this in New York?
yeah, well, this is the national tour first.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So and I loved being on tour, and I knew how to be on tour.
Yeah.
Anyways, it took me a couple months to understand what it was, and I had to take my ego had to take a huge hit because I was an ensemble member in a Broadway show, and so when I went to the stage door, nobody was there for me. Nobody was there for me, and that was like, oh, gut wrenched. And then I found out that I have a 401k, and I was like, I was like, fame, future. Uh, so, but that was a hard thing for me to figure out for my own ego.
Yeah.
Again, I fell in love with being an ensemble person, creating
Yeah.
something together with everybody. I fell in love with the community. I could be my authentic homosexual self.
Right, right,
Um,
right,
Fell in love
right.
with the man for the first time. And so it was like I just
Wow.
freed me and allowed me to be all these things. And then I was wrapped up in that bubble for such a long time. And then I
Yeah.
moved to New York. Broadway was really good to me. I got to do Wicked.
Yeah.
I was one of the first replacements on the Broadway cast. So I got to work with everybody, fell in love, did another it was an originated another Broadway show. And then yeah, so that's now I'm all things. So going
And you did Wicked in LA also.
did Wicked in LA
Because
for
I came and saw you a few times. Yeah.
that was fun. Wicked was a big show. That was like
Yeah. Wow.
let me tell
Yes.
you something. It feels good to be important. It feels good.
Yeah.
And like there's when you like and sometimes I don't like it's fine to not always have attention or feel important or doing something that you're proud. It's fine to not do that. But when it happens, it happened to me the other day. I was like, ah, damn it. It feels good to be wanted and it feels good to have some
Right.
attention and it feels
It
good to
does.
notice.
It
This
does.
feels
I've
good.
it does. I've gotten quite a I mean, so many, hundreds and hundreds of messages and DMs just saying how much each episode has meant, and it's been such different feedback episode to episode, our first one that came out was Virginia Madsen, and she has a different bit of a demographic and just a very, very like old school Hollywood fan base. I mean, she's an Oscar nominated actress, so
Oh,
that's a different level, some different level
got
shit.
that like, oh, just Oscar nominated. No.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you were about to literally pick up an Oscar, and I would not have been shocked. You
There's
do
one.
have one
There's one in the closet. I'm not allowed to touch it.
in the closet? Is Rob okay? You should have it hanging from the fucking ceiling. I'm calling him later.
No, it's there. It's like
It's
locked.
like, oh, it's like in a vault.
Yeah, it's like locked away.
And is he won it?
No. Do you
Okay.
think we won any of these awards? Yes. Did Rob
No, of
definitely?
course Rob won a bunch
Rob,
of them, and you and whoever.
Rob won some Emmys for sure.
Yes. For
Yeah,
RuPaul, correct?
RuPaul's Drag Race. Also for So You Think You Can Dance because he worked on that show, and
That's
also
right.
uh, Project Runway.
That's right. That's
Uh,
right.
But he has a sports Emmy. A
Wow.
sports Emmy, y'all. If you know this guy, he is he doesn't stop dancing, and he worked for Nickelodeon, and Nickelodeon aired an animated one of the NFL wild card games through with SpongeBob, and it was huge, and he won a sports
Wow.
Emmy. And
That's so amazing. Yeah, he's really incredible. Okay, t
sorry,
talk to me about when you said I want to get into that because I want to clear up that misconception. I'm not sure what you were gonna get into, but get into it. When we
uh,
were talking about like dancers being singers or yeah.
I think I think when it comes to being somebody who was brought up in the 90s in a very very limelight kind of area, being told what to do and all these kind of things,
Right.
then going into a professional world and having success, that still stays with you. The education that you get is will stay with you forever. The education I got was so unconventional and didn't make any sense, right? It did to me because it was mine.
Yeah,
But then
absolutely.
the thing about show business of show is about the relationships that you create with people, hello, and having the longevity. So going from boy band 90s pop star, breaking Natanya Ross's heart, I'm so sorry.
Breaking Natanya Ross's heart.
Telling her I was a homosexual on a Nokia cell phone somewhere in Kansas.
Flip phone at that, baby.
Playing
The
safe.
very, real quick, the very first brick phone I ever got, I got in trouble over and over and over because it was always 714. Not, you know
Uh-huh.
your number.
Yeah.
I like went over all the minutes and I would never. She's like, "Don't call till after 9 p.m." And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"I
Of course.
won't. I won't." 9 a.m. I'm like, "Hi, babe. I love you."
Oh God, I remember I got the phone that it was like I didn't have to wait till 9. I could wait till 8. That was years. So
Oh.
but nobody else had the feature, so nobody would pick up the phone between 8 and 9, so it didn't matter.
That was so funny. I remember waiting for you to call me at Jenna's house once. It was like Valentine's Day. It was 8 o'clock at night. We had just met like a week prior. And I'm like, there's no way this guy's gonna call me on Valentine's Day, like a week after we meet. Jenna's like, watch, he's gonna call. And Jenna's phone, everyone was like waiting, and you called at like the last second, like 8 p.m. I looked, I'm like, oh my God, it's the 714. It's the 714. Because it didn't say Eric Stretch. It only said your
No,
phone number.
of
Yeah.
course not. No.
And then I was like, hello.
And I was probably I was like, yeah, so
You're like,
I was
hi.
like, oh my God, I remember this. Like
Okay.
dogs are barking in the background.
Okay. So, you guys, I'm sorry. I know we go
Go
on
back
so
in.
many tangents. We're ridiculous together. People probably it just can't even keep up. But or they have kept up and have really enjoyed this so much because I know we have. But tell me what you were gonna tell me about the
So
whatever's going on in the dance industry. Yeah.
So I think no matter what you do, if you do something successful, you will always end up wanting to share that information with people. So I went really into the musical theater Broadway world, New York. It was fantastic, but I was somebody who didn't know anything, and so I had to learn on the job. I was really good at learning on the job. I still want to learn on the job. I still want to be a sponge. And then when your career starts like going somewhere, you're like, like I'm a really good singer and I'm a really good dancer, but like I always thought I was okay. Well, I was actually a pretty good actor, but I just couldn't remember words. I could not retain words. So I was like, okay, well, what's my next step? And like knowing what my education was. So like, so then when it came to a place where I wanted to be like, well, like everyone has this taboo and negative thing about people who teach,
Mhm.
become these educators. And I'm like, that's bullshit. I was like, because I have all of this stuff. It doesn't matter how successful you are, you have an opportunity to share that success and share things for younger artists.
Right.
So then I started getting into that world, because I didn't know what I was like. I didn't have any. I don't know how to share. Once I found what my vice was and how I found out what I wanted to do as an educator. Also, I don't love being called an educator because I'm not. I do it because I can. I have a lot to say, but that's not
Yeah.
my thing.
Right.
It was when I moved back to LA, and LA is, for some reason, has this taboo negative thing about musical theater. It's like
Mm.
it's almost like the butt of a joke. Oh, that's musical theater, that's musical theater. Motherfuckers. It is the hardest form of entertainment that you can. So, and also it's not going anywhere. And also there are so many shows. So like I don't care if you have an issue with musical theater or not, or you fancy yourself a dancer and not a singer, or you fancy yourself a singer but not a dancer. Do you want to work? Do
Who
you
would
want to?
have an issue with that though? That's
And
crazy.
so I when came back to LA, and I was so like all these people are the most fierce, most amazing dancers, but the second they hear about musical theater, they like, well, I don't sing, or like, I want to just be a contemporary dancer and live in a fierce lunge and dance my feelings. Like, oh, cool, that stuff is a great art form. There's no money in it.
Right.
There is money, but it's not. It's about the longevity, right? So if you like, and I just feel like my mission statement is now where I'm at is I want to make musical theater cool in Los Angeles. Like
I
if you
love that.
why is it not like the coolest? Like Wicked was really popular when we were here in LA.
Yeah, yeah.
Hamilton becomes this hot ticket, but why are we not having amazing? Because there's so much amazing talent
There's
here.
so much amazing talent. I'm going to give a huge shout out right now to Jack's Theatricals. It's this incredible theater, musical theater company owned by these two gay men and their partners. And one of my other gay bestie, Brian, he just like got so brave and auditioned, and he has a similar story. He did Broadway, off Broadway, all this stuff, and just musical theater over and over and over in New York when he was younger. But he was a young gay man battling a drug addiction, and that's a whole other world there. Chemsex is a very real epidemic we're looking at, which can be anybody, but it's usually gay men with chemicals, usually methamphetamine in the community that and now Brian has been just the most incredible advocate for. He works in a treatment facility called Breathe Life and Breathe Life Healing Centers, and he's really known for like being an educator on chemsex, and really he has made such an incredible impact in the queer community. But he's also an actor, and he was the director of Wrath Mercy, which is that movie I starred in a few years ago. And he went to this theater that I think should be way more blown up. I mean, they just created a brand new their own musical. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say. Yeah, you're right. Like bring musical theater back to Los Angeles. I want to audition for something. Should I? I will.
Yeah, it just feels so segregated out here. You're either like,
Yeah.
it's
It's these little tiny theaters and like these actors that are just true artists. They're doing it for the love of it, but like, yeah, let's make it a little bit more
Onyx.
mainstream
Um,
and
now,
accessible.
now that I've been choreographing these shows, now I'm behind the desk and now I'm holding these auditions, right? So now I'm officially a choreographer, and that's what I do. And
So
uh,
proud.
I don't just do musical theater, but I do live. So anything that
Amazing.
makes sense because of my upbringing.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that don't get it twisted. I'll take that SAG-AFTRA like movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. But are
but
you dancing yourself still in production? No, you're,
I will. I will if
yeah, sure.
somebody needs me. I will. I always say I'm retired from auditioning. But yeah. So there's
Me
been
too, bitch. You have no idea. I did one self-tape and one self-tape only, and I said, think I'll make a podcast
so
where I talk to my friends instead.
so. But yes, that's another something I wanted to discuss. But going back, so now being behind the desk, now that I'm in this place, when I have worked on network television shows, I have been able to be a part of the choreography team with these huge reality competition shows now. Like I won't hire a dancer that does not have one musical theater credit.
You will not.
No, I
No.
won't. I won't. Well, I mean, if I have to, I have to. If they don't have
Right,
any,
right, right.
but the first thing I look for is if you have, because it is a, it's all about teamwork. It's all about community, and and it's you're gonna put your ego aside. We all have egos. They're gonna be they're gonna be there, but they're not as narcissistic to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a sense of community. It's a sense of
Yeah.
togetherness. But
Absolutely.
going back to what I was saying earlier, one of the reasons why I wanted to leave New York City and when I wanted to stop auditioning for these Broadway shows is because I came from the same world where you leave your personal life at home and
Mm,
then your professional life, you're professional. So once the lines started being blurred via social media,
right.
my brain could not compute. I
Yeah.
was not that I had anything to hide, not that like my lifestyle was anything offensive or anything.
No.
But it was just like so once it became more about the social media aspect of these performers. One thing if you're a massive celebrity, your name's above the title. You're the one
Sure.
that's that's different because you're always going to be in the media somehow. But when it came to being a part of an ensemble or part of the team, they would gravitate and also they'd be like, well, you need to get more followers. And I'm like, what? I just understood what Facebook was. Like, what
Right.
and
Yeah. The
wait, you
followers thing.
want me to
Don't, yeah.
document my food and everything? And I just
It,
was like, I don't, that doesn't, I don't understand that, which I get it now, obviously, because it's a part
sure.
of our culture, it's a part of our life. But I was like, I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now like even going into the choreography world and going, it's like everybody goes and checks your socials first.
Yeah. That's the first thing
So
they do.
it's like, so you do want it to be authentic and you want to see this person and how they are, but then also it's a double-edged sword. It's a smoking glass, it's smoking mirrors. It's like,
I know it's crazy. I mean, I've really tried to go on social media just I mean, you see myself. I'm just me. One
yeah,
day I'm in a good mood, so I'll do like a get ready with me or a unboxing or whatever. And the next mood I want to, day I'm in a really depressive state and I share about that as well because there's somebody else out in the world that's feeling the same way that day. And if maybe they hear me, maybe it helps a little bit. But because I just don't really follow a pattern because I'm 44 and I don't want to, but I have to publicize this podcast to get it out there so everybody can hear your amazing stories. I'm I'm forced to just push content, and I'm always gonna do it my own way. Like my own things I want to show you guys, and I'm always real about it. And I'll tell you some of the feedback I've heard from people I know. Wow, pretty disgusting, I gotta say.
ah,
Truly, like everything from she looks ridiculous on social media right now. Like, why is she trying to act like a 20-year-old baddie? She looks
what's wrong with
insane.
acting like a 21-year-old baddie?
Well, I mean,
It's
sorry.
sorry.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. I can still. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually not even doing that. I'm like, yeah, right, exactly, And then the real haters, like the ones that really want it, these are the worst, the block, block, block instantly. This isn't like people I know. This is something totally different. But then you have fans go on and they'll just say like pretty wretched things like junkie, like you're not even sober, like just the dumbest shit, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, you're right, whatever, I don't care. Think what you want. Like, who cares? You hit a certain age and we just can't care anymore.
You
And
know,
think when
somebody asked me something like, or like, oh, you only care what people think about you, or something like that, and I was like, yeah, I do want to know what people think about me. I don't
sure,
care what it is.
right.
I don't give
But
a fuck what it is. What you
but you
think,
want to
I
know
do want to
because you want to
know.
know if you should excuse them
I
out of your life
Yeah, I do.
or
So yes,
not.
I do want to know what people think about me. I just don't care.
Yes, I don't care. I only care for one reason because I want to know who I shouldn't be talking to anymore. That's it.
Mhm.
And it's very interesting as you get older and older and older, God or the universe, whatever you believe in, will start removing those people in the oddest or easiest ways. And just one day you'll either be like, "Oh, I haven't had to deal with toxicity from that person in a long time." Or it'll be a very obvious, like, this person needs to be taken out of my life. But I've been more and more appreciative of that the older I get, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And I'm so fucking glad you're still here with me.
Yeah.
You
We're
stuck
still
with
here,
me.
babe. We're still
We're,
here.
we're still here, babe. Okay, this is gonna lead me into my last question for you. You ready? Do you want to change your mind and I'll pack? I'll pack it back. Kidding, Rob. You guys, all of
Why don't
our
we?
audience. I'm so obsessed with his partner. I love Rob so much. He is
Yeah.
best. He is always dancing. He is always joyful.
That's
Eric
my
has,
social media. My
well,
social media too.
is Rob. Yeah, I was gonna say you
Dancing.
met somebody with as much joy in their heart as you have. That's what I noticed about you guys is that, yeah, you're both always just dancing through life and singing through life and
Oh, that's a
laughing
very
through
wicked
life.
reference. Did you even know you made a wicked reference? You just made
No,
it. Yeah, Dancing Through Life. That's a song.
whatever.
Dancing Through Life. Anyways,
Oh, when she goes the ta 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 ta, was that with the book? Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Dancing through life, singing through life, laughing through life, loving through life. You really, I see the way you get to experience life together in love and travel the country and then also come home and get to choreograph
The
all of your
country, girl. We're
incredible.
traveling the world.
That's what I meant, the world. Why did I say the country? Who gives it like you're like I'm not going to Iowa. We
You
love
got kids.
Iowa. But yeah, no,
You got kids. Be out.
you're in Paris and Italy and Spain, just all these crazy places and it's just a perfect like outcome for you, truly.
Well, thank you
You
so much.
know, to have
I,
met a
I,
partner with as much joy in their heart as you have and values and sees your worth in the way that we all deserve to be loved. We all deserve. It took me a little bit longer. I had to get married first, real quick. That was weird. Oh, by the way, Eric was at my wedding.
I
You
know.
all, yes, you should have objected. What were you doing? He was
I
on
was
his
just so
phone
happy to
texting.
be there. I was so happy to be there. I couldn't believe I made the list. It was so great.
What? You
Oh,
couldn't believe you made the list? What are you, nuts? You know what's funny? You don't need to necessarily say what happened. I think it's going to be
mhm.
pretty obvious if my friends are very upset and heartbroken for me over a blind side. We can just leave the rest to your imagination.
Mhm.
But, you know, that I'll tell you, like, when you go through something like that, to see, when your people that you've known your whole life go through pain like that for you, that's when you know you have family, you know? And I knew that with you. And that was a crazy situation, but listen, we're okay. We're fine.
Bye.
Like while you were making out with me drunk at 17, you were probably watching my boyfriend on TV being like, damn, he's hot. So we're fine. We ended up
Fine.
fine
It's
after the
funny.
divorce. We did just fine. But here's my last question that I ask everybody. That's about as petty as I've gotten so far in this podcast, I will say. But there might be more to come. Who knows? I like to keep everybody on their toes. So, when you hear the phrase, we're still here, babe, what does that mean to you?
Oh my God. Oh, it means so much. It's like it's the perfect line for you. Um, well, I think about you. I think about your journey and that, like, how many times that you probably could not have been here. You, like, I think of you, if I'm being completely honest. I think of you and your journey and the you're you're fucking here, babe, and you're alive. And you're
Yeah.
alive. And I'm so grateful to have that. So I have you in my life. And then also I think about us.
Us, we're
We're
still
still here. We're still making each other laugh. We're still have our inside
here.
jokes. We talked on the phone for over 2 hours the other day. Two
Yeah.
hours. Just those perfect moments where we both had the time to really
Yeah.
just connect and
Just,
share.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and we didn't even talk about any of the stuff that we talked about on this
No,
podcast.
no, we didn't. And you know what, Eric, and of course you are, you're the first person to get it with the We're Still Here, babe, because so much of why I created the title was because I knew everybody I was going to bring on the show for the most part. Obviously, there's people I don't know as well, but it was also going to be a weird, like an hour story too. You know, like me and Marla, we're still here. Like for our friends, we're still here. You know, so thank you for saying that. That really means so much. I actually do have one last question because I just think it's something important for the audience to hear. Did and I don't know if I've ever asked you this. Did you know because I tried so hard to protect it from certain people, and you would have been at the very top of that list with people like Marla, Jenna, you know. Did you know like what did you know how bad it was what was going on with me? Like did you know I was on heroin? Like what did you think? Or what did people what where did anyone think I was or what I disappeared. I wouldn't have let anyone found me, but
That's um I think the answer is nobody would understand how deep down you
mm,
were.
okay.
But I knew that it was deep. I didn't know it was that deep,
Yeah.
know that you're
Yeah.
that far along. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't remember this. You called me when I was in New York asking for money. And I was like,
I don't
that's
remember.
and I said no. I said no, I don't do that. I care
Right.
about you too much. I don't do that to people I care about. uh and and I was like, that's and I remember she was like, that's some serious because we partied.
I
I
know.
You guys, I partied,
Yeah, we
y'all.
partied, but we were
Party.
kids. Like,
Yeah, and like I probably partied a little too much longer than I should have, but
right,
it
but
it
yeah,
it never crossed the line into addiction.
correct.
And so that time I was like, oh, this is an addict. This is an addict. And so I didn't know about all the the really crazy things um that you've shared with me, and you probably share with most people here. Maybe not. No?
I mean, no.
Okay. Never mind.
Just just some of the like really close friends, but yeah, no, I mean, it's a public story that I lived on Skid Row, and it's a public story that I mean, it was interesting right before this podcast came out. I was like, look, it's going to garner attention not because of me, because of the people that are coming on, and I might as well just fucking get it all out there now. And it started with why I decided to do this podcast on July 8th, and it's because I decided to change my sobriety time during COVID because of kidney surgeries and all of that. And that's why that's why I made that decision to do that. And then just kind of organically, I started getting asked to be on all these podcasts where, I mean, if I'm being honest, they were going for the good stuff, They wanted the good stuff. And this guy, Dave Mannheim, who I love and I'm obsessed with, and he has a podcast called Dopey, and it's like one of the top recovery podcasts. And I had been warned, like, look, he's a great guy, but he'll get it all out of you. And I was like, me? No, no fucking way. I've held on to some stories for like 25 years. So he came to my house actually to film the podcast because he was in town for an event. And yeah, he got it all. He got, and I can say it because it's out, but he got my Brad Renfro story. And I know everybody had heard about that too, and that was just the worst time of my life, truly. And so that came out, and then a couple other podcasts came out about like my last audition where it was all over, which was 8 Mile. And then like, just stuff like that, like, child star to Skid Row. You know how they like to do the, you
Media.
know, I'll never do that once on this podcast. P.S. Like, I'll never put a block that says like, last girlfriend heartbroken over boy band member being like, why are we
Why,
doing that?
why not?
Because you guys are my friends, and because you
I
know
would be I would be okay with that one.
I know you would be like, well, I'll do something funny, like last girlfriend, or but nothing
Don't you,
salacious.
don't you have that picture? Isn't there like a picture of us that yes, the Titanic of it all?
I have so many. You don't know what
I
happened.
have
Like,
so many.
watch an episode. Why don't you watch an episode and you'll see how there's clips all through.
Okay.
So there's gonna be a lot of pictures, my friend. Don't you worry.
I gotta look through my box
If you send, please, anything you have, send me.
we have the same pictures though, because you'd get
I know,
like
because I would make you a coffee. All right, babe. Well, I love you so, so much. Tell us where we can find you, anything coming up, projects, anything that we can put out there in the universe for you.
Um, as of right now, I just came off of choreographing this huge Broadway show called Matilda in Connecticut. So
Mm,
it's closing this weekend. So if you're in Connecticut, you got to go check and see that in New Canaan, Connecticut. It's amazing.
amazing.
Very, very proud of it. It is not a kid's show. It is a huge, huge juggernaut of a show.
Oh,
I'm going to be choreographing Something Rotten in Nashville, Tennessee next season.
that's so cool.
But if you're in Los Angeles and you used to dance or you used to sing or you used to do musical theater and you're a little bit older, come take my class.
Like
It's
a little bit older, like,
my our age. No, but
okay,
so I have two classes. I have a beginner class that's like people that just want to move their bodies.
okay.
And
You're like, that's you, Natanya. That's the class you go
that's the
to.
class you should take. And then I have a full blown advanced, like crazy, crazy. Yeah, we're in heels, like, really going for
I'll
it.
stay. I'll stay away. Yeah, I'll stay away from that one. Amazing. And then
You're bumpy.
on socials,
Socials, I'm at Stretchy Man. At
that's right,
Stretchy.
Stretchy Man, the best social media handle of all time. And we can't tell you why. Don't say it. Don't do it.
What?
Eric Stretchman, don't do it. Let's end there. We're gonna end there. I love you so fucking much.
I love you so fucking much.